Ms. Cynthia Carrion, President of the Gymnastics Association of the Philippines. Maraming salamat po sa pagsama sa amin sa araw na ito.
Salamat naman.
Thank you for being with us. Dami po namin questions din for you dahil alam namin na yung sakripisyo rin from your end, hindi lang from Carlos but even from your end.
Yes.
Pero balikan lang namin dun sa umpisang-umpisa, Ma'am Cynthia, kung paano nyo ba na-discover ang isang Carlos Yulo?
Kasi do I talk in Tagalog, English, whatever?
Whichever is comfortable for you.
Because when I met him, well, of course he just wanted to learn how to tumble. But when I see him, I could see the passion in his eyes, and he wants to make. He doesn't have a coach, but he's copying the gymnast. So I said, this boy is really, you know. So I asked him to join the Batang Pinoy. That is 12 years and under, and he has no coach, and he won medals. That's when I said, this boy, you know, I asked him to join the Paranong Pambansa with a coach this time. He won again medals. And then I said, oh, I'll give you and we had a foreign coach in the gym visiting. And I said, it's Japanese. That's it. I said, can you stay over and coach this young gymnast? I think you would love, because he's very, very good. And he said, yes, I will. So he joined, and he said, can I bring him to the World Championship, Junior Championship in Russia? I said, baka we will become kulelat. I don't want. He said, no. He needs exposure. So we brought him. Do you know he came bronze? Russia, China, Philippines. I was amazed. And the technical official of the gymnastics told me, Cynthia, take care of that boy, because if he did well in the pommel horse, he would have won silver medal. That's when I said, okay, I'll be more careful about him. And then his coach wanted to go back to Tokyo because he wanted to learn how to coach better. He wanted to go to school. And he gave me a big dinner, and I was wondering, why he's giving me a dinner? I'm saying goodbye. I said, you cannot leave, Carlos. I said, but I have to go back to Tokyo. And I said, is it okay if I send Carlos with you? He said, of course. He said, you know, we'll make it. So that's when I started to beg for money for him to do it.
Was it a concern po at the beginning? Because as Carlos mentioned, he started relatively late, at a relatively later age, at the age of 12. Was that a concern for you at the time?
No, because when you have it, you have it. When you have it, it's inborn, you know, and he wanted to, you could see he was hungry for it. He wanted it, you know, for the Philippines, for us, you know. So you can tell by I have experience. And now we have plenty who want it.
You mentioned that you had to scrounge around for funding. Gaano ba kahirap ang mag-fund ng training abroad para sa
Very, very hard, because especially for gymnastics, they said, what's gymnastics? Nothing. They know nothing about gymnastics. And they said, have we ever won a medal in gymnastics? Never. I mean, nobody wanted to help me. Like I said, I was a professional beggar. But MVP came through, and he came through, and he gave us the money. And I was able to send him, and I was so happy. And once in a while, I visited him and see how he's doing in school. And that's why we're going to go back to his school to thank him, to thank the school for taking care of him, you know.
So the plan is to go back, visit the coach and the school?
The school, yes, especially the school and the coach, yes, to say thank you. Because the school before, he was just going to school, but I had to write a letter and ask the president of the school if he could use the hyperbaric chamber, the fitness gym. They have a beautiful school. They have all this, and he was not able to use it. And the coach said, please try to talk to the president so that Carlos can use it. So we did, and he said yes, he approved it. So he has to thank, we have to thank him.
Oh, and are there concrete plans already? Like, is there a timeline for when you plan to go?
Maybe in November.
Before the end of the year?
Before the end of the year, but later on.
Have you talked to them over the phone or via email?
No, we were in Tokyo. When was that, Carlos?
February.
February. Yes. We were in Tokyo with the Japan Olympic Committee. and we already thanked them also.
Yeah.
And we said, but this one is for the school. Yeah,
For the school in particular.
Yeah, in particular. And at that time, we told them about the school and thanking, but we have to go personally, I think, to the school.
Yes,
Yes,
Carlos,
he's a-
the golden hero
Yes.
of Philippine
Gymnastics
gymnastics.
Association of the Philippines.
And so would you say that the golden hero has ushered in the golden era of Philippine gymnastics?
Yes, it's really now, like I told him, I have 100 in the grassroots that wants to be another Carlos Yulo. So that again, I need funds. It's luckily that Speaker Romualdez gave me some funds this morning for the grassroots.
Wow.
And I will give it to you. I mean, you have to inspire them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure po.
Inspire these young kids. Yeah.
Parang may kaakibat na responsibilidad kasi yung pagiging golden hero, di ba, Carlos? Parang,
We can continue, yes.
yes. And, but Carlos mentioned earlier that hinahanap rin ng katawan niya yung pagtitrain, yung pagbalik sa
Yes.
training. And he's already preparing for the next Olympic cycle. What preparations have you, on the other hand, as president of the Gymnastics Association of the Philippines, also been making for the LA 2028?
Well, plenty, because before the LA 2028, we still have the SEA Games, we still have the Asian Games, we still have the World Championship. He has to qualify first. He has to go to all this qualification. It's getting harder and harder. And I have to qualify a team. I want, if we can do it. I want him not to go alone, but to have a team of 4 other gymnasts. So we really, I'm trying to look now for a foreign coach now to come, not only for him, but for the other gymnasts that we have in the gym. Yeah. So that's these 4 months while they're resting and just training without any pressure of being in a competition. I'm going to look for a good coach, but I have to introduce them that they make sure that they work together well, not just anybody. It has to be they introduce, and if he says, "Okay, Mom, we like him," okay.
Are there
That's it.
other gymnasts that you're eyeing already in particular to be part of the team?
Yeah, we have his cousin Ivan Cruz is very good. He just needs a bit more. We have Miguel Besana, who's also very good. We have Ace De Leon. All of those, and of course his brother. He will be in time for the Olympics of 2028.
How old is he now?
16.
16.
Yes.
So by
Perfect.
then 20.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You according to the federation, you pick at the age of 25.
Oh, okay. So,
So he still has.
saktong-sakto pala
Yeah,
ang
he still
ating
has.
golden hero. Is there any truth to reports that you're also eyeing Jake Jarman to be part of the Philippine team?
We were talking to him, but I talked to the high officials of the British. These are the presidents and the CEOs, and they said, Cynthia, we spent so much money with Jake, but we cannot release him. He's really our part of our team. Please, I hope you understand. The only way he can be part of the Philippine team is if he himself asks for it or his mom. So it's up to them. It's up to them if they want to be part of. They know what we want, so it's up to him. I don't want to pressure him. So if he wants to be part of the Philippine team, we are open arms. We are inviting him and giving red carpet treatment, so he will love to come here.
Same as what Carlos and the other athletes have experienced.
Yes.
The grand welcome and all
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Which, were you expecting that the welcome, the homecoming parade, the Heroes Parade would be that big?
For him, yeah, I was, because I told him in the Philippine embassy in Paris, all the Filipinos were already there. I said, Carlos, this is only 1/4 of what we're going to receive in the Philippines. You know, I was already excited. It's really, he's going to be a hero to 2 golds, you know.
Yes,
We're not in Asia. In Asia, we're in the SEA Games, the Southeast Asian, we're number 1.
Because
Yes,
of
we
the
have
2
2
gold
golds,
medals from Carlos. But, well, speaking of the Heroes Parade, the homecoming parade, it recently came out that the other gymnasts, the female gymnasts, were asking why they were not invited. So we just wanted to clarify.
Yeah,
why
I'm
they
glad
were really
you
not
asked that. I'm
invited.
so glad you asked that. They were not invited because they were not, first of all, they were not here and we knew nothing about it. I got the message late. I mean, I didn't know, he didn't know anything, I didn't know anything. How will we invite them? You think I will not want them to be there when they have been part of the so I didn't know. In fact, from my trip to Paris, to the Philippines, straight to Malacanang. I didn't expect that. I was not dressed for Malacanang. It's a good thing I had a jacket. And I didn't change. I didn't have makeup. So it was straight. How would I tell them, come, and they're in the U.S.?
So you only found out about the homecoming parade on the flight
Yes.
back, en route to Manila.
I heard something that they will have, Carlos will have, and the medalists. I thought it's only Carlos and the medalists. I didn't think all the Olympians will be invited. But they invited finally all the Olympians, even the officials. I didn't know I was going to be even invited. So I invited even part of my board because they said, go ahead, invite. Last minute. So, and they're from the U.S. How can they come all of a sudden? Very, very difficult.
Have you had a chance to talk to the female gymnasts about this? Because one of them, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was Levi, who posted like a screenshot of your conversation, and she said that they were hoping to be invited, but they had no idea that something like this was happening. What was your reaction to her sharing this conversation online?
Somebody asked me if I said I will not reply because it just get me upset. They should be smart enough to know that if I had known about it, you think I will not invite them? Of course I will. I'm proud of them. You know, this is the first time in the history that they're getting, they haven't won, but they're getting finances. They're getting incentives. Even their coaches, the foreign coaches are getting first time, before never, you know. So they should be, I just text them in our chat, you should be honored and happy and stop complaining. You can get out of the Philippine team if you want. I don't care. We don't need. I want Filipinos anyway.
So, Ms. Cynthia, at this point, what is it that we will be watching out for? What's next? Is it the SEA Games? Is there another competition that we should be watching out for?
Well, you know, there's a competition called IMAG. IMAG is for the martial arts. It's in Thailand. They canceled it. So we're afraid that they might, because there's a new prime minister, I'm afraid that the Prime Minister might cancel also the SEA Games. But in the Philippine Olympic Committee today, with the meeting, I've kind of felt that they're not going to cancel it because all the NSAs, all the countries, NOCs will complain. They want to be part of the SEA Games. Or otherwise, another country would bid for it. Even we will bid for it. The Philippines will bid for it.
Oh, okay. So very exciting times ahead, and we know you're very busy. Thank you so much for taking time out to be with us. Carlos, nung panghuli na lamang ito, I remember nung na-interview kita 2022, sinabi mo na yung experience, you needed championship experience kasi nga hindi mo pa naabot yung gold. Ngayon, meron ka na nito yung championship experience. Does this mean there are even greater things in store for Carlos Yulo?
Of course po. Palagi naman pong there's always more po kasi.
You know what he told me? No, he said he wants to do this all around. You know how hard that is to win the all around.
Yes, because that's all the events. All floors, vault, pommel horse.
Right now he's 12 in the world. He wants to be up there.
Nako. So, yun ang aabangan namin sa susunod na Olympics sa LA. Thank you so much.
Salamat po.
Thank you so much, Carlos. Thank you, Ms. Cynthia, for being
Salamat
with us.
po.
And
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.